When you're in traffic like this, you realize there's a lot of people in the world. I was listening to some old school Post Malone, White Iverson. Supposedly the rumor is he did some stuff in Grapevine. I did some plays in Grapevine. But I heard rumors he hung out in Grapevine. On a talk show, he talked about Dallas. White Iverson. Been balling since I was young. Alright, real quick FedEx advertisement. You didn't think I was going to break out with a Post Malone impression, did you? Got to work on that one. Got to work on that one. I need to put down that he's got tattoos on his face, on John Blacksmith. That's a good idea. He's got like tattoos on his face, and then maybe I already put tribal tattoos on his hands. That way you can recognize his hand when Rainey's frying it up in the skillet. Got to read the screenplay. Waters Ridge is what they call this right here. Little names for all these little areas. Probably good for delivery, you know, because you go, where's Waters Ridge? You know, take you relatively this area. They need to do that more. And also, another thing they need to do on the GPS, you know, the Google Maps, corner streets, you know. So you got a person that's like, I'm on Main Street and First, or something like that, you know. You can't really do that. What's your exact address? You know, with the numbers and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I guess you could find it. There's ways of finding it. You know, the zip code or something. It's that situation as I lived right down the block from here. This would be like a sweet little job. I'm not going to tell you about it yet until later, maybe. I guess it was too close to where I was at. It'd been too easy. Yeah. Schwan, 1929, 1993. Huh. Guess they did ice cream. So they recommend stretches for the workplace. You have the lunge. Stretching the arm. That's a good one. Alright, looks promising. The only problem is they lag a week on payment. We're so used to living day to day. So, anyway, gonna change costumes into the delivery. So we're gonna do a little research on that Schwan guy, you know, who was delivering, you know, ice cream back in the day. He went from like 1929, 1993, passed away, of course, but they have a huge business. Well, you know, frozen food, having frozen food delivered to you is a pretty big deal, especially here in Dallas. People have it done all over Texas. I don't know if they're Texas-wide. They probably are. And the branch that I'm at, I mean, crazy. You know, crazy amount of deliveries. I think they do like 40 or something like that per driver. It's a really good job. The only thing is that it's a real job, and you go a whole, you know, you have to wait a whole week until that lag pay on the other one. You punch a clock. You punch a clock doing this too. We're picking up a Roadie prescription, but you know, it's stable work. They're there for you. You get up early in the morning. You know, you leave at around, I don't know, I guess 6, maybe if you finish it up, maybe 7. I don't know. To me, it's kind of a dream. It's kind of a dream job for a delivery driver kind of thing. But I had to make that payment today, you know. So I had an opportunity. We had a lot of extra money coming in because of the cleaning. So I had an opportunity to kind of give myself my own advance and switch over to a stable job and get out of the gig economy, because I've been in the gig economy for 4 years. And to get something stable, where, you know, you have benefits and you're taken care of, and you're working with a team of other brothers and sisters that are dropping off frozen food. You know, Schwans is amazing. It's going to be hard to transition. I was honest to the guy, you know, because I also talked to one of the other workers, and I told him, you know, it would be hard right now to transition. And I didn't tell him about the theft charge or anything. I didn't tell him about the $250 I had to fork over, because I could have used that for the week. So see what happens. God teaches you quite the lesson. He wants you to follow the laws of Moses, and if you don't, then he teaches you a lesson. Now, this is kind of a lesson where he's hanging a carrot in front of me, going, "See, Cole, see what you did, see what happened, see what happened. Now, don't do that," you know, because he cares. God cares about you. So sometimes when you feel pain or you lose an opportunity, it's because you were not being wise. And we all know the laws of Moses. You know, you don't put any God over God, Jesus Christ. And then the second one, no false idols. And then the third one, of course, you don't say his name wrong. You know, you don't say Jesus Christ's name in vain. You say it with sincerity, and you don't, you know, even when you're saying that name, you keep it kind. The fourth one, of course, is an important one. Remember the Sabbath day, which some believe lands on Friday and ends on Saturday, but I was told by one of my pastors it's any day that you choose. It's one day that's holy, because some people are persecuted where they don't get to choose that Sabbath day. But one of my pastors, Ricky, he said, as long as you choose one day and set it aside and keep that day holy, then that would be your Sabbath day unto the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, on the 5th, which is the 5th law of Moses, is what we don't want to do is what we do want to do. What we do want to do is we want to honor thy mother and thy father. The 6th one is no stealing, especially tip jars. The 7th one is we do not want to commit adultery, and then the 8th one is no killing, don't murder. Then the 9th one, of course, is important, which is don't bear false witness against thy neighbor. So don't say a lie against another person, even if it's a little white lie. Don't do that. He doesn't like that at all. And then, of course, the most important one is, well, not the most important. The most important one goes to the first one. They're all important, but don't covet, you know. And that goes right into YouTube and everything that we deal with. But I try to watch other YouTubers, and I try not to covet. You know, I kind of did that a little bit with Adam, because he had such a beautiful vlog. You know, and he was in Walt Disney World, lived in Celebration, Florida, and other vloggers too. I'm like, wow, what a great life. But you're not supposed to covet that life. And one thing my pastor talked to me about was don't covet another person's life. You know, they have Sky active on their thing right there, and see, I shouldn't care about that. Yeah, I don't want to read the bumper sticker though. Like the name of this place is called Break Time. We're gonna pick up some medicine, drop it off at your doorstep. have to pick up, and I had to tell them Happy Halloween on that one.
Worlds. Only one driver can save them both. Let's ride. And then turn right. Turn left. And then turn right.
I hope this is not on turn by turn.
Turn left.
Okay.
And then turn right.
So it gives me the option
Turn
here.
right.
Birds only. There we go. It's the movie guy on entertainment. In a world where you turn left and turn right all day long and drop off people's medication. We'll be there in about an hour. Well, ideally I wasn't going to work today because I had to go to court, and I decided to go to a job interview out in Louisville. They're all the way from California, and they're all the way from pure Michigan. Looks like a new McDonald's. Right off Josie. Back in the day, for the performers, you would say, why don't you try acting? Try acting. And they always would end up movie stars. Nowadays, it's like, well, why don't you try YouTube? You know, all of a sudden you're a YouTuber. Celebrity YouTuber. Why don't you try YouTubing? It's like, well, what about Eugene O'Neill? Well, what about McDonald's? So when you're talking about acting styles, you're either talking about Eleanor Duse or Eleanor Duse, which she passed away in 1924, or Sarah Bernhardt on the other side of the spectrum. So the great thing about Eleanor Duse was she could eliminate self. She also was just pretty much believable as just real. The other lady, Sarah Bernhardt, was more technique. Think of Jim Carrey. Still, there was heart there. They were both famous actors. Now, Jim Carrey has been able to cross over in the more the Eleanor Duse or Eleanor Duse style. Eleanor Duse came out of Italian. She hung out with a lot of commedia actors. Her father, I believe, her grandfather was Luigi, who was a famous comedian actor, and she traveled in a troupe. But when they would perform, she would just be naturalistic and real, or just real, very real. And it was like amazing. The audience was amazed because she could really blush, and she could really feel what was going on with her, and it was like very real to watch. It was like seeing a real person going through what they were going through. While Sarah Bernhardt, who took on roles like Hamlet, was very technical based. They're both good actors, just they approached it in a different way. Some YouTubers are very real and you believe what they're doing. And then others, they're very technical and they do a lot of inserts. And I was just thinking of that the other day. Like, are they more Eleanor Duse? Or are they more Sarah Bernhardt? Are they more technical and putting a lot of inserts and doing a lot of visual editing and that kind of stuff, But, the ones that I really like, though, are the performers, the ones that are in front of the camera and they're talking and they're somewhat being themselves, and they're just kind of, existing and showing you what their life is. And then the other side, too, is I like watching, the Casey Neistats, who's just, he's both Duse and Sarah Bernhardt. He's kind of fancy with his editing and he does all this cool stuff. He always gets new cameras and things like that. There's just a lot of them. I was watching Cash Jordan the other day. He's a little technical, but he's got a lot of heart. And he really sells the crap out of those apartments, and then he gives out lots of information and stuff. It's kind of my world now, the YouTube world. But Woo, I would say the old Adam the Woo. I think he's Duse. He's always kind of himself, especially now in his older work. He was fancy with the TDW days. Grim Life, though. You know, they're kind of the occultist. They're a little like A.D.W.C, I think. Although there is a little bit of Sarah Bernhardt in Michael with all his, you know, Happy Halloween, which I like watching. It's fun. But he's also pretty serious, too. Both are acceptable, you know. It's just me coming from the actor studio and from acting, I appreciate the reality of a person, you know. And sometimes when they eliminate self, which is an interesting thing, which is what De Niro does, you know, Robert De Niro does in acting. And Dustin Hoffman too, if you ever watch Hook. You know, sometimes they're unrecognizable, but yet they're still there. They're still present. You know, they're still in the moment. All right, we're going to drop off some medicine at Princeton. I've been here before. I did a cleaning here. So, conserving vlog. It's McDermott. Here in the sky. I think it's called Encore Wire. So they make, I don't know, maybe they make wire or something. Kind of look at the sky. Kind of an orange sky. In Princeton. Last time I came out here was for a cleaning job for about, I think about $100. This time I'm dropping off medicine for 16 bucks. All right, looks like it's an old folks home in Princeton. Oh, they have like a really nice bathroom. So I thought this was kind of cool right here. Oh, and I got a free cookie. We're headed back to Fort Worth. Snack break is brought to you by Planters Heat Nuts. You can kind of see the, there we go, kind of see it that way. And these guys right here, which I kind of like, it's known as Smokestack. They're from Wisconsin. They're basically like a, I don't know, it's like a meat and cheese kind of thing. On our way. Looks like we got the green line. And also, don't forget about this guy too. It's Slim Jim and cheese.